everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I guess we're doing a vlog because I left my camera at home, literally sat it on my sink so I remembered to record this morning. And look at me now, on my phone. So we're eating a nice crisp Wawa breakfast. We've got a turkey sausage croissant. I didn't know that I didn't have any breakfast food. And I had just enough time to make eggs, like my typical eggs and toast. And I didn't have any eggs. So we're here. And sometimes it's just like that. And that's fine. Because I love a good Wawa breakfast. I don't think we talk about like Sheetz and Wawa enough. Are we Sheetz fans or are we Wawa fans? I grew up on Sheetz. And I think overall they have better food. But where I live, they have it's all Wawa. It's Wawa land. So it's like I have to settle. I think Sheetz is a more northern thing. Very delicious, to be honest. I'm not upset. So anyway, the whole purpose of this vlog is me going to my interview, vlogging my interview experience. I've never interviewed for an internship before, so it's all new to me, and I'm excited to vlog the experience. I am excited to share all my thoughts, my experience. Right now I'm feeling like, okay, I've done interviews before, but nothing, like I said, nothing quite like this. And I did a lot of research on the company last night. And, we'll see. I don't know how it's gonna go. It's like in person, but they're an essential business, so they're allowed to do this stuff, I guess. I don't know how it's gonna work with, COVID times. To my interview. I have an hour and 15 minutes until my interview is even when I'm even supposed to be there, and that's me getting there early. They suggest you get there at 11:45 and it is, well, technically it's 10:20, so I even have longer. I'm trying to figure out the parking situation. It's a little bit confusing, and by a little bit I mean a lot, because there's resident parking in here, and they said that you have to validate it, but I don't have any service in here because this is literally underground. This is spooky. I'm clearly no longer a city girl like I thought that I was. I thought I knew this life, and clearly I just don't. So I'm gonna try and figure out the parking situation, and we're just gonna hope for the best. I don't know. I hope I don't get towed, because that would be rough, not good. So wish me luck, thank you very much, and I'll update you soon. I'm just here to report that I've already embarrassed myself for my interview, so I'm not going. So yeah. Okay, I'm still going, but okay, so what happened was I got there 45 minutes early, and they were no, you gotta go. And I was like, oh, okay. And the lady was like, there's a Starbucks around the corner. So I walked to the Starbucks and got a muffin for no reason. Send help. Since we're into real life things around here, I just want to show my dinner, because I've been driving for 2 hours. I was done with my meeting at about 2:30, and it's 5, and I'm still 40 minutes away. So here is here's my dinner, I guess. Love this. Just a little fry moment. And yeah, that's it. I don't typically eat at McDonald's. It's never my first choice, so that's why I never eat here, but it was the closest thing that I could find, and I was like, I'm so hungry. All I've had is breakfast, and I brought some snacks, but like I ate them while I was there, and I was like, good. I expected the drive to be, you know, the hour and 40 minutes that it took. You know, it said let's do double actually this time, so this is what I've got going on, and no regrets. Hello everybody. So it has been about a week since I did my whole interview vlogging experience, just, you know, basically the lead up of my interview. It was nighttime and it was a 3-hour drive home, although it was only like an hour and 40-minute drive there, so I did not record anymore, and I didn't like really talk about my experience. So just kind of talking about what happened. So I went in, you know what, we're gonna be real about this, because this was like probably one of the weirdest interview experiences I've ever had, just because there was some miscommunication. It was all sorts of weird. So essentially it was just like a big interview day, like multiple interviews going on at once. There was probably 20 to 25 of us there in the room together. We did a presentation, or well, we didn't do the presentation, we watched a presentation, and then we went about doing our interviews. So I get there about, I got there really early just because I thought that there was going to be more traffic, but I ended up like actually going into the building, I would say about 45 minutes early. And I went up to the front desk and like told the lady who I was there for, because I wasn't really sure what to say. The email wasn't really specific. It just told me who was in charge of like the presentation and kind of leading the event. So I said I was there for her, and the lady was like, okay, well, you're here like way too early, like you gotta go. And I was like, oh, that's awkward, because I had definitely seen people like in suits going in, and they were going, like, she like pointed them to the conference room, and I was like, okay, like I guess I'll go. So I walked to a Starbucks, and I just kind of like sat outside of it for half an hour, walked back, and she still told me like, oh, well, like you can wait here in the lobby. But she had like, there was a line of us at this point, and I knew we were all there for the same thing, and she was still trying to say that like I needed to wait. And there was this other guy then who was there the second time around, and he was like, I think she's here with everybody else. And the woman was like so confused. Like I told her who I was there for, and she was like, oh, I thought you meant someone else, even though I gave her the same name that everyone else gave her. So it was just like so awkward. There was like a line of people there like also getting interviewed, and it was just like this big awkward hot mess. So I finally get to where I need to be. I'm in the conference room, everything's great, dandy, whatever. Presentation goes well, I guess. And then there were 2 different types of interviews. There was a behavioral interview, and then there was a case interview. And I was not aware that there was going to be a case. I've never done that before. Obviously, like, I've never done anything like businessy, so there's no reason for me to ever have done a case. So that was like something I was worried about for other interviews, but the lady that I talked to on the phone before getting this interview never told me that there was a case. But apparently she told other people. I don't know, just a big mess. So I was like a little concerned about that, but they did give us 30 minutes to read it and prepare and everything like that, so that was pretty cool. So the first one that I had was the behavioral, and they basically asked, I would say they asked me like probably 5 questions. They were very short, like 30-minute interviews, and like the bulk of the time was them. It was 2 interviewers. I would say one was like in the company for a while, and the other one was fairly new. So it was kind of just them introducing themselves, me introducing myself, and then just like going straight into the questions. Behavioral interview questions are, I find them fairly easy. I have this lady who gave me just a list of behavioral questions, and obviously they're not everything that could ever be asked in an interview or anything like that, but they were really helpful to kind of guide you, because if you have kind of scenarios or like kind of answers, like nothing scripted, but if you have kind of scenarios in your head of like, okay, I can use this scenario to talk about these type of questions, it's really helpful in an interview setting. And that's kind of what I had, like conflict resolution, scenarios. I had that, like working in teams, I had like certain scenarios for that. So it's good to kind of have those in your mind. So those flowed really easily for me. I wasn't really just like sitting there or thinking like, oh shoot, I don't know what to say. So that part like went really smooth, and you know, they seemed to be like pretty engaged in what I was saying. Like they thought that, I don't know, stuff that I was saying was good, cool, great, whatever. So then I had the case interview where they basically, this internship is for finance, so I expected the case to be more financy, more numbers, and it was basically just like this company had a problem and they were trying to figure out whether to like sell part of their company or to keep it, and they gave you all of this information to try and decipher, you know, whether they should sell this one part of their company or not. And it was more so, I felt like it was more of a marketing kind of case. I don't know, it was very, very easy though. And as I was there, like I noticed that there were a lot of like undergrad students, and if you're new here, like I'm a graduate student in an MBA program, and I noticed, you know, like I said, there was a lot of undergrad students there, but I was like, whatever, you know, I don't really know how things like this are supposed to go, so it didn't really bother me. And there was another girl there who's from my school, so that was cool that somebody else I knew was at the interview. So anywho, I do the case interview. They like really liked what I had to say. They said that I went like above and beyond what most of their other interviewers had said, and then it was just like really good analysis, whatever. I was like, dang, I must just be like super smart, I don't know. And I kind of just left it at that, and after that case interview we were able to leave. So the girl who was from my school, who also was at the interview, ended up calling me on her way home because she had a fairly long drive too. And this girl pointed out to me that this internship, so if you don't know, typically you want an internship to lead you into a full-time job, at least like for MBA students. That's kind of what we're looking for, an internship that will essentially, you know, take you to a full-time position. So she pointed it out to me that the full-time opportunity that they were offering after the internship is over was only an entry-level internship. And like, you know, all the research that I've done is that graduate students, like business or, you know, whatever, especially like MBA students, you are up for the opportunity of being like the senior level of, you know, I don't know what any of this means, to be honest. I'm still new at this. I know entry level is like bottom of the barrel. So MBA students are typically supposed to get these like senior level jobs. I know tons of people who graduated in the class of 2020 and they are all like in senior level positions. So I was like, oh, like that's weird. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, the way I think of it is that I, you know, left a job where I was making X amount of money, and I didn't want to, you know, I want to make more money, obviously, and I just don't think that it would be smart to take a job where I'd be making only a little bit more than what I was making before. It just doesn't really make sense. You know, I know it's not all about the money, but I am paying a significant amount of money to go to grad school and to get these opportunities to, you know, be in these senior level positions. That's why you go to, like, at least for the MBA program, you know, that's why you're going to school, is to do those leadership classes, like do all the things that you would be doing if you were starting from an entry-level position, you know, working your way up, like becoming a leader, taking these leadership classes, doing stuff like that. I'm doing that in my program, so it doesn't really make sense for me to take an entry-level job when I can essentially just do better. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but it's kind of true, you know. It was almost like, that's why I was seeing so many undergrad students there. It's a really good opportunity if you're an undergrad student and you get to make, let's say, $60,000 coming straight out of undergrad. I mean, that's far more than I made coming out of undergrad. So that's a great opportunity. But being in an MBA program, you know, like for some people, I mean, I don't pay $64,000 a year, but for some people in my program, that's a year of tuition, and it's a 2-year program. So it's just the payoff isn't right. And I know that, you know, people pay a lot of money in undergrad, you know, if they want to go out of state, or maybe they go to a private college instead of a public college. Like, I know that the amounts can vary, but generally grad school costs a lot more, and it's because you're supposed to be getting higher paying jobs. I feel like I don't need to explain this anymore. It's fine. I mean, a hater's gonna hate, like, if like people get mad by this, whatever. But anyway, so it was just the fact that she pointed that out to me, and it was essentially like we were overqualified for the job that was being offered to us at the end of the day. And it kind of seemed almost like, I almost felt like I was kind of scammed into doing this, because, you know, they weren't specific in their job description saying they wanted like MBA students, grad students, undergrad students, whatever. And it's just like, they should know that, you know, being an MBA student, like, especially considering that most of their interns aren't MBA students, I feel like they should just know that it was probably not the opportunity that I was looking for. So it just kind of felt like they were trying to trick me into something, because it just, like, they weren't very forthcoming with all the information. So overall tip, just ask a lot of questions. Make sure that not only, like, I mean, you don't always have to be qualified, but I think you should always make sure you're not overqualified. I don't like that I felt like I wasn't being told everything. And like, a lot of the things that I found out was they were just trying to beat around the bush when I would ask, like, okay, so what's the difference between someone coming in as an undergrad and someone coming in as with a master's degree? I mean, that's just like, they're just very different. And they kept trying to like tiptoe around the subject, not really answer, but essentially there was no difference. And they said that most people will get their master's degree while they're working, which is like, yeah, I'm sure it's great to be an undergrad, make $60,000 coming out of the gate, and then essentially get your master's paid for by the company that you work for. I wish I would have done that, but I didn't do my undergrad in business, so I couldn't have. But it just seemed a little unfair. So I did end up getting offered the internship. I haven't gotten the official offer letter. I just got an email saying that they were going to offer it to me, and then I'd be getting the official offer letter soon. At this point, I'm just kind of weighing my options, seeing what else is out there. A lot of companies don't reach out to students until the spring. So although I've gotten, you know, some rejections, some online interviews, this one happened to be an in-person interview, I have a lot of companies that I'm really interested in that I haven't heard back from at all. So I'm just interested to see what is to come, and hopefully I'll have some good opportunities come my way. It's not to say that I won't take this internship. It's not to say I'm going to take this internship. I'm just trying to weigh my options. And also, like, this internship's in Washington, D.C., and I really don't want to leave my home where I live to live in D.C. for the summer. So yeah, I'm still applying to more internships. Every day I try to apply to at least a few. I'm trying to really stick to this area, and hopefully it kind of works out, you know? So that was my interview experience. Like I said, ask questions. Ask a lot of questions. Don't be uncomfortable kind of almost standing up for yourself, like asking, like, do you think I'm overqualified for this job? Don't feel uncomfortable asking about money or salaries. I feel like you think that it comes off as rude, but it's like, you should know what you're being offered. So don't feel uncomfortable. Be not aggressive, but be aggressive in a sense of, like, you know what you want and you want answers. Like, if that makes sense. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. I will see you guys. I guess this is going to be in VLOGMAS, so I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. See you later. Bye.